Hey everybody, Robin Holner with RH Image. Thanks for coming to join us tonight for Tammy and I to have a little chat about how to leverage up your look on Zoom. So I know she's going to be joining me here, and I'm excited because she is fun to have a chat with. She's so smart, and I'm anxious for you to meet her. But also, I just wanted to tell you that a little bit about myself. I am a fashion stylist and image consultant, and I have been in the business for a long time, and it has been my pleasure to work with women to lift them up and empower their voice through style. So that looks like a lot of different things because as women in business, it takes a lot to just help us to feel confident and know the details that matter so that our voice can be heard and well received amongst our business and our audience. So I am just checking to see if Tammy has jumped on, and I see Tia. Hi, Tia. And again, I love that everybody has a chance to join in and ask questions or tell your thoughts, good or bad, but this is a great chance because everybody is on Zoom these days, FaceTime. All right. Tammy. Hi, Tammy. I am just getting Tammy in here so that you have a chance to talk to both of us. Oh, thank you, Tia. Hey.
Hey, doll.
Hi. Would you do me a favor and introduce yourself? Because you are a very talented woman who wears a lot of different hats. Can you hear me okay, Tammy?
Okay.
You good?
Better?
I think I lost you there for a second.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I can hear you now.
Hi.
Hey, honey.
I know it's like happy hour. So
Yes.
you may not have some bourbon or some whiskey, but we're here and we can get down to it. But I was saying that you are so talented, and I would love for you
Oh,
to introduce yourself because you are a very smart woman who wears a lot of hats. So I want you to tell everybody a little bit about you, please.
oh, that's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all know right now. At some point, I'm taking this jacket off because I'm probably gonna have a hot flash in the
You'll be amongst good
process.
company if you do, because
Ooh, child.
we all get a
Mhm.
little spitsy when we're talking or speaking.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't. So while I'm cleaning my glasses, I'm Tammy Lewis. I am a broker in financial services. I also have a nonprofit. I'm a breast cancer thriver. I don't say survivor because we've thrived through that thing, honey. And because of that awesome journey, I actually started a nonprofit called Pink Pearl Hero, and also because of that journey, I created a digital planner called One Dope Planner. It's a digital organization planning experience. It is pretty dope, if I say so myself. So
Yes.
that's me.
And that's in some ways that's just scratching the surface just from my hearing you talk.
Yeah.
And you're someone who you are on here, whether it's Wow or Instagram or, you know, speaking, you do a lot. So this is the perfect opportunity to just kind of share with people because I think everybody has a little bit of angst or insecurity about going on camera, going in front of people, which of course you're wearing those slamming glasses that I love.
These are
But
my favorites.
thank you for introducing yourself. But so since you do all these things in the public eye, what can I ask you? What makes you feel confident? Like when you started out doing this, what made you feel confident on camera?
I don't know if I'm ever like 100% confident on camera, but I think what keeps me confident is the content because of the passion behind the content. Because I've gone on, which FYI, most of my girlfriends know, oh, she got on red lipstick. Most of my girlfriends know I do not wear red lipstick. I love it though. But for Robin, I'll wear the lipstick. But it's usually the content. It's usually the content that keeps me passionate, and it kind of that's what makes me more confident. Now, of course, now if my long as my hair is done, I can pull it back in a bun, and I have eyebrows and lashes and lip gloss. I'm good.
Yes.
I'm good. Those three essentials, I can go with no concealer, no nothing. As long as I got eyebrows, lashes, lip gloss.
Um, you're right, because we do have to define our eyes, and I fill in my brows too, because when you're on camera, people are looking right at your face. So yes, I know I'm a nudge. When Tammy and I got introduced to each other, I think it was like a couple of years ago.
Yep.
I'm like, Tammy, you're gorgeous. But when you go on, it's true. We want people to receive our message. And that's the important thing of how our words are heard and land and how we communicate. So that's why it is important to leverage your look on Zoom, just because a pop of color means you don't look washed out on camera, pop of blush, just so that when people are talking to you, they are just receiving you. And I know that sounds strange, but it's the psychology of just how
Mm-hmm.
things work. And that plus you feel confident because of your message too. But a lot of people do forget that yeah, they have to feel confident in front of speaking in front of people. But also just some tips that I was going to touch upon about how to do that, just so when we join and we get on and we're kind of you're queuing people up. It's like putting your lipstick on. You're like, okay, I'm going to work. Or you put those
Right.
smart glasses on. You're like,
Right.
I'm going to work. Hi, Sophia.
Mhm.
Um, People joining in again. I would love for people if they want to ask a question or whatever, just drop it in the comments. But yeah, it cues yourself up that you are ready to work. And when people are talking to you, they're like, she's ready to do business. She's
Right.
put together. She's polished. I'm invested, and so is she. And I'm sure when you have a lot of meetings on Zoom, that it's just to feel that okay, the communication's there and they're focused because quite frankly, and I'm sure are there times sometimes you're talking to somebody on Zoom and you're like you feel like they're either they haven't had enough coffee or they're not they're not completely focusing.
Right. Right. Right.
So yeah, that's why I asked, like, what makes you feel confident? And I do tell people like color, because the worst thing is just, a lot of times when we're on Zoom
Mm-hmm.
and we have whatever background or we blur out the background, is that we're wearing white and it just washes us out. And then we have the harsh lighting, because it's really great just to check your lighting and make sure you just don't look ghostly. Or
Right.
if you're lit from above, that you have these, shadows, or you look like you have dark circles and you really don't. Just what that lighting is
Mm-hmm.
doing. Is it creating a warmth? Is it in the right place? Again, so the person can just focus
Right.
on on you, on what you have to say, because everybody's time is valuable. So let's make it count. I'm just checking to see if anybody popped a question in the
Yeah.
comments, but um,
Like I know for me right now, like I really should be this way. I'm scared to move my tripod just in case something happens, um but technically I should move this just a little bit because there's a glare coming in when you're talking about light and glare. So that's a little bit better because there's a glare coming in from the side on that. But anywho,
and then when you do, I'm like, I love elephants. Of course, you got Of course, it's like, don't mess with the horns. She's got a big tusk behind her.
Yeah, that part. Yeah.
Maybe that's your subliminal message, like, listen up, or you're gonna
Yeah.
get sorry. But
It's
that's one
just,
of the
yeah,
things.
it's a
Yeah,
sorority thing too. So,
but elephants are powerful, so that's, in a way,
hmm
that's a positive message too.
yeah,
And that's what I tell people too. Check the background, because sometimes people have a clock that's coming, it's right behind their head, and so if there's something strange in the background, half of something showing or a clock ticking or something moving, it is natural for our eye to go there. So if
right.
people are distracted while you're talking to them, again, they're losing some of the message. I love that you wore a jacket.
Yep.
Yeah, because I know it's hot, but at least we're not outside. But um, that is another tip I tell people too. Like, hey, if you have a t-shirt on or a tank top, throw on a buttoned up blouse, throw on a blazer. I have on a cardigan. It's not quite my Mr. Rogers cardigan. We didn't go that far, but it is, it's purple, which is a good color. Again, don't get me started. There's a lot of psychology behind color,
Color. Yep.
which besides the red looking fabulous on you, Tammy, which I do love it. But even that, a pop of red means like you're serious, you've got a lot of energy, you're a go-getter, because
Mhm.
that's how red sends the message. So it's just, I think you're owning that color, you just,
Thank you, honey.
yes, you are. And maybe, maybe Fenty should just have a shade that's called Tammy.
Heard that, Rihanna, right? I'm
I,
just saying.
I know,
I
I
did
know.
see some questions. There's
Okay,
two
good.
questions in the chat.
Okay, let's see. Do you recommend using blurry backgrounds sometimes?
Mhm.
Okay, well, I I personally, I don't know. I mean, unless you're somewhere where you really hate the background and it's really distracting, then I would say yes, go on and try to get something that's clean, that perhaps if it's a solid color, that's not going to drain you of color, like something that's like a pale blue or a light gray that's going to drain you of color.
Mhm.
And Tammy, what do you think? Do you think it's better to have something personal or in the background, or what do you think?
I think the least distracting the background can be, the better. So, because I always wonder about this, but I don't think it's that distracting. If you got people walking behind you, then I would blur. Like if, you know, because some people do Zoom calls in, coffee places. So if you got all that going on,
Yeah,
then yeah,
background noise or people, no, too distracting. And then I do recommend, besides a great color or a structured piece, I love an accessory. Nothing too big that, if you're like me and I gesticulate all the time with my
that's my
hands,
accessory right
yes,
there.
and that's what I tell people. Your glasses count, in terms of not overdoing it. But no really long earrings that every time you talk, they're moving, or you have a bracelet that every time you gesture, it makes a noise. Again, things that are distracting, because we can't help it that our eye will just go to what's noisy, what's
Right,
moving.
right,
So yes, but something that's, accessories, it brings a polished look and it creates interest. So again, it goes back to creating your whole image
yeah,
polished for the Zoom meeting. I am just checking to see if there's any other questions.
yeah.
Um,
These are like these glasses. One, I can see. That's probably the most important thing.
yeah, I have mine on too, so it helps to see.
But I thought they were fun, so it still kind of gives the vibe that, okay, so she's fun, she's different, she's not kind of the, so
Bold.
this is like my pop of
and
accessory.
and they're bold. I love the shape for your face. I love the color, and they're bold, because again, that's
Mm,
right here what people are looking at. So your glasses should be updated. They should match the shape of your face. They should, again, like you said, express a little bit of your personality, but yet be
right,
professional. Um,
right.
so what would you, yeah, happy fashion hour, because it is happy hour. Which for me, it's always happy fashion hour. But what would you say to someone who is just getting started out, in terms of just, they got to get on, they're meeting their audience, they're getting on for work, besides the points that I've made about, makeup and lighting and background, what would you say that just to be like the biggest confidence booster for them to go online?
I think the biggest thing is, I mean, if you are, because I'm hybrid, I'm not always on Zooms, thank God, but but if you are, and if you know your day is going to be structured like that, especially for, I mean, for us women, is even if you work from home, get dressed as if you're going into work. And then that way, when there's like a last minute Zoom, you're not like, oh my God, I got to put on makeup and all. No, just be ready. Just be ready, and not just be ready top up, because I think, COVID, but
Business
be
on the
ready.
top, party on the bottom. Yeah.
Exactly. I say do the whole thing because it just brings in that confidence too. I know I did it was the Women Who Network. So shout out to Caden and that group. But I did that and I was speaking on it and I had like heels and everything on because it makes me like feel like I'm on stage even though I'm sitting.
Yes.
And then that's a different person because I got the whole uniform on as I'm talking.
It made you feel empowered.
Mm-hmm.
It made you feel, yes, empowered. You're speaking, you want, it's like, it's almost like your armor. You are pulling out all your tools,
Right.
and image is a tool. So I love that you got dressed right down to the heels to feel empowered and have your moment. So I love that. And I so appreciate you taking the time today to jump on with me and share a little bit about
Oh
you
yeah.
and what works for you. And I would say to anyone watching, if you have more questions or if you'd like more tips from me, RH Image, about how to level up your look on Zoom or social media, then just drop a comment below or DM me and I will get back to you.
Yeah.
And so thank you, Tammy Lewis from St.
Thank
Louis.
you.
I
I do
appreciate your
have a question
time.
for you though.
Yes, good.
So, okay, so for people like me, who I love red lips on everybody else, I'm getting used to my red lips. And actually, and it's not because I don't like my lips. I love my lips. It's just that when I have red on, I feel over made up, if that makes sense. Mm, right? So what are some other things outside of, so I have start putting in a pop of color on my cheeks. Like, what are other things that you can accentuate if you don't want to have the red lips all the time?
I get what you're saying because uh, red is an attitude. Like that's how I phrase it because I think it looks gorgeous on you and I don't think it looks overdone. But I get where if you are always sort of in neutrals, which we kind of touched on when we first met,
Mm-hmm.
it can feel like you went from 0 to 100. So sometimes what I say to people is you can start with a gloss because it's more sheer, it doesn't have as much pigment, but it can hint to that red or red brown as long as it has a little pop against your complexion.
Okay.
You can go a little more cheek color and experiment, like maybe try a brick red that has brown can soften a little bit. You just don't want to go all the way brown
Mm-hmm.
because that can be aging, but maybe experiment. If it's, have you ever tried like into the fuchsias, like, or something in the pink realm?
So I have a couple. I actually, yes. Short answer, yes, I have. I've had
Okay.
a couple of pinks that I really liked, but
Okay.
it's more of like an ombre look with brown liner and then, yeah.
Okay. So when you say pink, are you talking like pinky flesh tone? And then, yeah, that's what I thought. I don't mind that look, but here's the thing, personally, because I'm also a professional makeup artist. When you do that, it comes across softer. So it's almost like I'd say, okay, you need to line your eyes, maybe do a smoky liner and keep it for like a sexy
Mm-hmm.
going out type of look. But when you're going to do that, where it's your lips are the key point of the color, then I would say you need to bring it a little more. Like
Okay.
since we're going into spring and summer, perfect time to experiment with a gloss because a gloss always has less pigment. It's sheer, but go for a bolder color. Don't go for so blah. And that way there you can get a pop of color, but it's not matte. It won't have as much pigment and won't look as made up.
Gotcha.
And you can get a pop of color, but it's still sheer. So you feel like, okay, it's
Mhm.
softer. We're gonna come become friends. I'm gonna try you out. And yeah, and just do it without the liner, and then you can always play around and be the artiste and do a liner and fade it in. And but I think you have the ability to you could wear a beautiful like sheer tangerine gloss, and it would be gorgeous on you. So I hope it doesn't always have to be the red, but I do want some color, a pop of color
I,
for you. So
I
yeah,
got you. So how about you and I just go to Ulta and Sephora together and
that's
we'll
there
just,
you go. There you
That
go.
would
I
be a
help
good
people
blog
all
for
the
you
time.
too.
What'd you say?
That would be a good blog for you as well. Shopping.
I do it all the time for clients. I do private makeup, lessons and or I create the color for them too because I'm an artist. So if you can't find what you're looking for,
Maybe
just
that's what
pick
I
it.
really just need to do. I just need to come see you and
We,
just custom make one.
Tammy, anything for you.
Oh, thanks,
Cheers to
Jessica.
you. I appreciate your time and you are so sweet. And I love it because I know that I will get to see you continued on at the WOW events, the networking events. And so we get to support each other and see each other. So thank you for doing this for me.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Thank you for having me on. And of course, I have noticed a difference, regardless if it's via Zoom or if I have to be on stage or in front of people. That the pop of color on the cheeks, it is a game changer. Even with the nude lipstick, it is still a game changer
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. If you're gonna go nude, then do a little more on the cheeks because we just got to have that little pop because the camera lights it all washes us out.
Yeah,
So I'm so proud of
I
you. I'm so proud of you for
try.
because you are bold. So don't be afraid to go bold.
Thank you, doll. I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Okay. Thanks, Tammy. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you. And like I said, if you want any info or any more tips, just leave a comment or DM me.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Thanks,
Take
Robin.
care.
Bye bye.